is definitely not supposed to be happening. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to... There we go. Apologies. My big fat finger's in the way. That's like a total old person move, right? Where your finger's in all the pictures. My mom used to take pictures with the camera, with those fucking Polaroid, or those disposable cameras, and she'd go pick them up, and there would be so many pictures of her finger or her face. It was hilarious. Hey, what's up, everyone? I am the High Priestess Phoenix, telling stories. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sibyl, child of God, the first child of God. I am the LILITH reincarnated. Today is Wednesday, Mercury Day, a Hermes Day. I'm supposed to be telling speeches and all this shit, communication and all that. These bastards. What's going on? I really don't know. I have no idea. They're telling me that one of my kids isn't at school, which he's at school. He wasn't. I thought it's a whole confusing thing. Seriously? Yeah. Alright, so the 8th grade got out last week, but not 7th grade. So my kid missed it. I was like, why am I getting these calls? They're like, oh, there's still school. I'm like, okay, so I took him to school, but yet I'm still getting calls that he's either tardy or not in his class. Is he ditching? I don't know. Figure that out later. Anyways, in order to keep up with me, and that's not important, but I just want to point out I'm a mother too, and this world is stupid. You would have had to catch last night's video and what I posted in my community page. First off, I woke up and said I wasn't going to do this. I said, I'm done teaching you. I gave you everything you needed to know in the last video. I feel like I give everything you need to know in every video, but yet there's so much you need to know. I was like, ugh. So anyways, I had this thing, I was like, I feel like, you know, I'm not telling you anything until you guys start taking action, right? Until you guys start fucking taking the fucking journey of the dark night of the soul. And then I'm chilling, and God's like, you need to show them the journey. I was like, I've done shown them 1,000,000 times. He's like, yeah, but there's new people. So, oh my God, Becky. And then I'm like, this is Groundhog Day for the rest of my life. Why do I have to show you? Because I'm the only one that knows. They can teach you how to talk to spirits and all this other stupid shit. They do a lot of weird shit. I'm the only one that can teach you how to get back to your soul, to wake the fuck up, to know who you were before you put on your skin. I am your guide through the dark night of the soul. That in front of you is Sariel. He was my guide. Next to it is Azrael, and that's me, Tazvikel. Oh my God, Becky. Sorry. That's my response to everything. I don't just do it online. I say that all the time. Alright, let me talk about this. The cards that you're looking at, and then the cards behind it, all go together. These are called the Archangel Fire Oracles. Okay? Now, as much as you're like, oh, I get to learn my Archangels. No, bitch. No, bitch. Your Archangels are about to guide you through this journey. All of my teachings are about guiding you through this journey. So I have to sit there and I'm like, what guide do I guide them with? Well, let's start at the beginning. This sucks. A lot of my books have it. So I'm going to read it out of this book. I'm going to read it out of that book. I'm going to read it out of every book. And then you're going to get this shit. Okay? Enough with the bullshit. This healing oracle introduces 40 dynamic, loving archangels and divine guides who are keepers of the ascension pathway. It offers you a practical model for engaging the angelical kingdom to guide and support you in viewing your everyday issues from a higher perspective. How are you going to get a higher vibration, a higher consciousness? Here we go. I'm introducing you to all of the ways, like in the beginning I didn't have all of these, but I just kept getting them because what would happen is I would end, you know, every ending, I would come to an end of one trial and tribulation, and then I'd have to start all over, which means I'm constantly going through the dark night of the soul. We're constantly going through our mind and our emotions, through all of our chakras to get to our soul. I do this all day long. That's how it is to keep my soul clean. In the essence, that's what I was doing to begin with, was just come to peace. Come to a place of peace. It's hard to do that when your mind is out of control and you're built up with all of these emotions. So that's what I kept doing, and as I kept doing it, as I would finish one study, I would be introduced to more studies, but I'd still review the other studies. It's literally a hard knocks life, dude. It's a schooling. I teach, I run a whole Hogwarts station over here, and I'm, looking for people to initiate into other parts of this so I don't have to take on so much. But the truth is, that's what I teach you, is all of this combined comes to one. And the one thing is getting you back to your soul's true essence. Now, unfortunately, you have to go through the dark night of your soul. You have to go through hell to get to heaven. Your own hells that are created within your actual being. That's what I can teach you that nobody else can teach you. Everything else, they're there to help you, but I can teach you how to get through it and how to recognize it. I teach you the light codes. What's a light code? How the universe, how God is talking to you. Last night I told you how they talk to me through spirits or through spirit animals. The representation of what this message of this animal is. I teach you what the numbers mean. I teach you what what's going on. Speaking of which, I feel the 10-day forecast is already about to flip. No time for that. Oh, come on. Sorry, that's a whole nother hour teaching of new 10-day energy that we just walked into. I teach you how all of this works. But most importantly, what do I specialize in? The shadows. I teach you how to overcome your shadows and who's there with you and how they're guiding you. How to recognize them as you're inside of you. What is inside of the darkness? That would be me, Isis. Alright, let's get into this. It offers you a practical model, blah, blah, blah. It can uplift and empower you to align with you and your highest goals. Archangels are angels of the high rank who assist humanity in our evolution by helping us to access the divine through higher wisdom and knowledge. They differ to other angels who solely help us with practical day-to-day things. Alright, these are in the tree of life, you have your angels that are right above you, your spirit guides, they're right there with you. And you have your archangels. And then you have the virtues and the principalities, and you have the fucking dominions and the cherubim and all of this. It's all through the tree of life. They're all looking on over you. Alright? As you ascend, you are now in, and that's what I told you. Once you awaken consciously, you're now in their conscious realm. Now, I'm showing you the light side, but I'm going to show you the dark in just a moment. This all happens when you start getting out of your own consciousness. You access higher dimensional beings and levels of conscious, which are just actual realities that are here on this reality. I described that last night as this is the sand in the water. There are all kinds of levels of water above this sand, that it lies on top of this sand. The sand shifts by the movement of the water. That as above, so below. The things from the other realms happen here. But we create from the things of the other realms. You're creating from the dark realms and from the light realms. Everything you create here, the dirt, the foundation of this is from the other realms. So, I'm going to get into all this. And I want to teach you the lighter side of the dark journey, is what we're talking about here. Let's see. There are angels for everything, such as guardian angels, parking angels, sleeping angels, even angels in charge of buildings and cities. The archangels, along with the day-to-day, have more to do with the ascension and attainment of enlightenment. They connect us straight to God and our divine nature. They connect us straight to God and our divine nature. Now again, I said that in my video last night. I was like, I work with your gods, but they're not my gods. They connect with me and God and my divine nature. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Each of the 17 suits of the cards is an oracle is attributed to a specific healing color, ray, a sacred flame, depicted in the color scheme and frame of each card, and the archangel who embodies each of these colors. The deck includes a balance of masculine, feminine, androgynous, mythical, and multicultural angels in celebration of human fellowship and diversity. The transformational color rays may also be seen in correspondence with the rainbow color spectrum of the human chakra system. As you're working through your chakra system, you're working through their energies. They're aligned with the colors of your chakras. So if you're in your sacral, you have there's a certain group of archangels that work with you in your sacral. And that's where I can pull out the notorious and show you where are we at all the way, fully, and what chakra and what part of, our ascension we are. And that's what I do all day. I'm not here to tell you about your love. I'm telling you about your healing and how to get to the next level. Once you get to the top, all you do is take what you get up there and bring it back to humanity. If you can accomplish that, then you're allowed access to keep coming back and forth. That's what the whole plan is to get to the top of heaven, to get to the angels, to get what they want this world to look like, to get to God's vision and bring it here. Be his worker. If you can execute that, where he can give you the vision and you can execute it, then he'll give you more vision. And you'll be like me, where you're always up there, he's telling you what to do all the time, and you got to come down here and do it. In the sense of, I was just hanging out, and then he's like, no, you got to go teach them this. All right, fine. If I do this, what? If I teach the lesson, I get the blessing. Ha-ha! It's great. It's not. It's servitude. Whatever. It's okay. But that's what you have to do. If you can do it the first time, then you'll be granted more times of access into there. But again, you have to climb the ladder. You have to go through your dark night of the soul to get right back up there. You have to go all the way through it, all over again. And then when you're trying to bring it back, you're trying to bring back a vision, a reality, a creative inspiration, trying to make it real in this world. You've got to go through all the pits of hell and everything else. Your misbelief and everybody else's, trying to bring something from heaven and make it here real on earth. Welcome. All right, let's see. Your chakra system, along with many higher chakras and energy centers opening during our current cycle of rapid expansion. The opening of these energy centers within us correlates with the opening of the gates of heaven. So as you work with these colors to raise your vibration, activate your chakras, and expand your consciousness, you are bridging heaven and earth within your being and body. Who wants to sign up for this? It's the most intense spiritual boot camp that you'll ever go through, but if you don't finish it, you'll look like Kanye West. It's the worst description, but it's the truest description of what happens when God gives you a vision and you fucking give up on it and don't finish fighting the world around you to make this vision real. Everybody wants a calling on their life. They want to do this, but you don't understand that once it's done, it's done. You cannot go back. Once you start ascending to God, you have to literally die to the flesh, bro. You are literally going to leave this earth consciously. Be completely set apart. You're like a fucking alien walking through these people, bro. You're no longer like them. You have to even convince yourself that you're still wearing skin. You no longer think like them. You no longer feel like them. You're no longer one of them. I am the only one that has made it through this. I am the only one that can teach you this. It has been taught by ancients before, but they're missing everybody, and all magical little, connections are missing the big picture, which is this, the healing. You literally have to take it off, bro. Every thought and every feeling you ever had about this world. It's just an impression on the skin. You literally have to take it off. And when you no longer think and feel like them, you're no longer them. And you become a soul like me, a Holy Spirit, wandering, stuck in the flesh, doing God's work, trying to make our world, that holy world, this world. Because that's all you can do. You can't go back until you do it. You can't find home until you do it. You can't find peace until you're doing what you came here to do. If I don't build this better world, I'll die in the pain of this world. If I don't do what God gave me to do that brings me joy, then there's no joy in this world. Really? Really? You want to become something out of this world, dude, you literally leave it. Little by little, you completely change, where you're no longer accepted, and you don't accept them either. The chosen choose, but it's the highest calling. And with great power comes the greatest responsibility. You can't even pretend to be like them anymore. I've tried Trust me, I've got 2 years of it, of me trying to get back into the world and just be a normal human again. Look at Kanye. He's been at it way longer than me, and he is the most disgusting failure of what happens when you try to go back to an old life. When God, you've seen it, bro. God came in and changed his direction. And he tried to hold on to the old life. And God wouldn't let him, bro. He took away everything. He's just a wandering soul trying to, you know what I mean, hold on to the skin. Because he won't do, you know what I mean? Because he's afraid to do the work. Or maybe he's going to start eventually, but what is it? Your feelings, bro. You got to sit there with all that anger. You got to sit there with all that pain. You gotta check yourself into a mental institution, bro. Not an actual one, but your own. You're about to check out and check in to the Betty Ford Clinic, bro. It's a whole self-healing journey, bro. And it's ugly. You're literally going to, you know what I mean? What do they call it? You're gonna withdraw. Trying to pull you out of your reality is going to make you very ill, and it's going to make you look really bad to people. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, dude. I've been through hell. You know what it was? It wasn't, the hell inside wasn't half as bad as the hell that everyone gave me for just taking this journey. Inside it wasn't so bad. It was just me. And I felt sorry for me, and that's what it really was about. I was actually feeling what it felt like to be me instead of denying all these things that had happened to me. It hurt to be me, and I had to acknowledge that's what I was dealing with, was a lot of hurt. And I had to, you know, go through that. But while I was going through all the layers of my hurt, you know, the outside of my world, I was being pulled out of the, while I was going inside, I was being pulled from the outside. You know, while you're so proud of what you did inside, you have to open your eyes and look outside, and everybody's ashamed of you. They've rejected you. They've neglected you. It's you know what I mean? The feelings that you dealt with inside, you realize are still happening outside with the people around you. That you're still almost in a sense of victimhood. That you haven't got out of this yet. You're still, you know what I mean? Your whole world outside of you is still not good. How does it become good? When you cut it off. Like an amputee, and it says it in the Bible. It's better to cut out your eyes than to, you know, have a sinning eye, to cut out your tongue. In the essence, you know, and that's what I show you is detachment. That's what it's all about. And that's where it's like, how did you become like this? This is what I did. And I couldn't stop. Once I started, there was nothing to go back. I destroyed my whole life. And there was still so much to, you know what I mean, to work on inside of me, because everything was still bothering me. I still went outside and people would piss me off. I'd get triggered left and right and left and right and left and right. The world outside was making me hurt more, or bringing my hurt to the surface. So I couldn't really live outside until I dealt with what was happening inside. And when I cleared out, like I said, when I cleared out all those feelings, and that's what I do every day, I clean out the thoughts and I clean out the feelings. When I cleared that all out, I was no longer the flesh. My soul literally came over me. I had worked all the way through my flesh to get to my soul. And then before I knew it, my soul was stuck in my flesh. That was hard too, waking up for months. I couldn't get out of it. I knew that I was stuck in the flesh, and I just kept, I mean, I've done a lot to get out of it. All I can do now for the next 55 years is honor my soul's contract and what it came here to do. The flesh no longer desires, then it no longer lives. The things of this flesh, I already, you know what I mean? I sacrificed those on the way to becoming the spirit. So it's not even in the flesh. In order for my soul to live, my flesh had to die. Enlightenment is described as, you know what I mean, a higher perspective, or, you know what I mean, a higher consciousness. You leave your conscious reality, bro. And you can't get back in it. You cannot put yourself back into your old skin, into your brain after you've left it. You just sit there and watch it. I can't be the brain. I can't be anymore. Before, I was just nothing but my thoughts. I did everything my brain said. Now all I can do is see them when they come in, but I'm not the brain. And that's what I mean, is you no longer think like them. You no longer feel like them. But you can relate to them because you know, most of the time, you're like, I used to think like you. I know where you're coming from. You know what I mean? It's this mastery of I understand. And when I can't, I look for reasons to understand. What are they thinking? You know what I mean? And why are they acting? Ask questions. Because I don't know what you're thinking. Is it a kick? I know what's coming. You know what I mean? I can see where you're going, but not what you're fully thinking. That's weird. I don't want to know what you're thinking, because they're dumbass thoughts, to be honest. But there's a point to it. Because it's just pictorial fucking images there. Those thoughts are like, daydreams go back to something. You can tell me your dreams, and I can tell you the point of it. And that's what it is. Tell me what you're thinking. What were you thinking? And then we can get to the bottom of this. I can see where this came from. How you came to this thought. Alright, let's go on with this. It's a long-ass intro. I just wanted you to have some of the intro. It goes on, humanity is undergoing an evolution. Simply put, we are growing in our awareness and our surrounding and our reality. Much in the way a child's whole world initially consists of their home and family. As then the child grows, they are sent to a nursery and then to school, perhaps university. Oh, Europeans. You know it's a European when they say shit like this. And when they spell color and flavor and favorite like that. And then they reach adulthood, and they might move to another town and explore a country or even begin to travel abroad. So the child's awareness of the world has broadened or expanded, and therefore their reality has also expanded. They become aware of other people, other cultures, different foods, customs, and ways of being. Another way to look at this is that we've begun to experience different ways of existing. This is what we are now doing as a collective, albeit on a much broader scale. And that's where it is everybody's spiritually evolving. Most of us, not mass consciousness, they're breaking off by pieces. You know what I mean? They're all set on a timer. It's kind of like how many babies are born in a day. You know how many babies are born each minute? It's like how many angels get their wings and shit. How many people are waking up? But it doesn't mean they're waking up. It just means that they're starting the awakening process. And for some, it could last forever, and they'll lose themselves in it. All it means is your heart's waking up, and it's going to try to take over your mind. And this is a deadly fucking ride. Because you have to release the mind to let this happen and work through your heart. It's all in your heart. Alright, so this is how to work with them, channeling messages, grounding preparation. I don't read any of this. I'm really bad about intros. We just jumped into it like I always do. Alright, so the first one you meet is the Angels of the Black Ray. Welcome. You're in the beginning. In the beginning, there was darkness. Black, like white, contains all colors. Right? And that's it. How can you be, and that's the polarity. Once I align my chakras, I align the white and the dark and the black. It's a completely... Shut up, Michael Jackson. Not right now. He said, so did I. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, God. They got jokes. Michael Jackson's got jokes. That's funny. He was black and white, wasn't he, though? I hate you, Mike. Jesus. Anyways, they're funny. That's what it is. It's like, how can you balance, and that's what I mean. I balance the dark and the light because I hold all of the colors. First there was darkness, then there was light, and that's God and Goddess, the sun and the moon, the polarities, the feminine and the masculine. I harness them both. Anyways, the galactic core is the 0 point. It's where everything is created from. Negative quality, or healing qualities, neutralizing negative energies, harmonization, protection, overcoming fears, manifestation, comfort, nurturing, the shadow. This is the beginning. First crystal. Where's mine? It's over there. You're going to need an obsidian, a black tourmaline, a shugite, or a black diamond. Well, dang, take it easy there. I have an obsidian. Most people carry a black tourmaline. It was my first purchased stone. They actually, that motherfuckers, dude, he called me. That's what happened. Really? It happened the day I lost my house. I was doing so many things. I was cruising through the streets, and I got a call from the dude at the spiritual store. He said, Phoenix, I need you to come down here. I got something for you. And I get down there, and it's a black obsidian crow or raven. And then later on that day, then they call me and they're taking my house, and it's a whole bunch of shit. I remember that day quite well. So that was what, it was a big one. And that one I carry with me in my special stone bag, which is in my purse right now, and I'm not grabbing it. Essential oil is black pepper. The star is the black hole. And then they have some sigils. Alright, I'm going to not read you everybody's card, but just these couple ones. Often described as one of the fallen angels and the brother of Lucifer, the light bearer, Sariel is the archangel who can help uncover the hidden blessings within the darkness. If you are encountering the dark night of the soul, Sariel brings comfort, helps to offer yourself loving kindness in the depths of your despair. He is a potent ally to call upon when you have nowhere else to turn. Sariel helps us uncover the triumph within our loss. Like the image of him as an African Dogon priest emerging from the darkness of this card, he lights the path to redemption, reignites hopefulness. When you have met Sariel and understand enlightenment is not only about light, but balancing the polarities, you will have met the innermost sanctum of your duality and come into the eye of the storm. If you can master peace within your pain, you have mastered your emotions and can find yourself at home within any situation. And that's me. I'm the master alchemist, because I can find peace within all of this. I can sit here in my painful moments and have peace in it as I cry to you and I bring up these memories and whatever God's doing to me. I can weather the storm. I can find peace in God's works. It's painful what he's doing, but I find peace in it. God, please, Lord. He's fucking with me. Wolfman tries to talk about the polarities, but you see how he feeds into the darkness. He feeds into his flesh. He tries to act spiritual while he tries to harness spirits in his flesh instead of surrendering the flesh to the spirit. Stupid. Moving on. Message from Sariel. Although you may feel like you have abandoned hope, abandon yourself not. You are being cracked open to reveal your depths. Treasure awaits you on the other side of this deep initiation. This is where it starts. Who is my guide? I always tell you. Kobe. I said that before I ever got these cards. Does that resemble Kobe to you? Does Kobe not teach you how to push through the darkness? How to push through hard times? How to push through adversity? How to see that this is part of the training? Welcome. Now, when you turn onto the second page, you meet Taz Fakel. Creation from chaos. You're in the dark now. All that's in there is chaos. He gives you the light, and I keep you going through it. Taz Fakel means God's knowledge, or That's where you come to me in your darkest hour, and you tell me what God's the devil. You tell me how fucked up your life is. And I bring you God's wisdom and understanding that why God is doing this to you. What you're supposed to be learning out of this situation. And that's me. And all my chaos, see what God really wants me to see about this chaos that he's created. I just want to point out the Eye of Horus, and we were talking about Horus, and I wear the Eye of Horus. That came later. Let's see. Who's Horus, my child? This angel is the epitome of divine feminine, and she is aligned with the great cosmic mother. Taz Fakel guides us to seek spiritual perfection. Like the image of her as a veiled Egyptian goddess Isis in her card, she's the teacher of erotesic knowledge, mythology, spells, and rituals. As soon as you go into the dark, you meet the dark goddess. Why? And that's why I'm going to go into the next book. Because you need to know this. You're now in the dark. You need to know the erotic knowledge that was hidden from you. You need to know the mythologies that are down here with you. You need to know spells and rituals to protect yourself from from the world you're entering. Unyielding and sometimes more than a little demanding in nature, and that's me, always as the dark goddess, working with Taz Fakel can feel like an initiation into the darkest depths of the feminine mysteries. What is that? Your feelings. As the keeper of the Akashic records, and that's what I am, and I told you that, it's not a place. In the essence, I can see where you've been before time. I know who you are. I know why you're here. I know where you've been. Do I know? Only when I recognize it, and when they tell me. You're trying to know, but I already know. Again, I'm the gatekeeper of all this bullshit. She offers you the key to unlock all of your lifetimes. I posted that yesterday in my community page. That's me. I'm the gatekeeper. I give you the keys, and I walk you through it. When you enter the cosmic womb of Taz Fakel, be prepared for what's lurking below the surface of your subconscious to be brought out into the harsh light of day for review. But Taz Fakel, your powerful protectress, there is nothing to fear, as the truth, however discontenting, will always set you free. And that's it. The truth shall set you free. I hurt you with the truth. I force you to face your own truth. She's also a brilliant ally to help solve conflicts. Keeper of the ring past knot, Taz Fakel rules over the cycles and waters of creation. She offers you silence, which is vital for seeking higher wisdom. Once you lift the veil and peer into the darkest recesses of your soul, trust this angel is by your side, guiding you across the abyss of renewal. Hers is the powerful alchemy, but glory greets you on the other side. I told you, I take you through this. Message. Stay the course. Your soul is calling you to the deeper and higher wisdom. You are entering a new phase of creation. Many gifts will be revealed. Alright, now why did I pick Azrael? Well, you should know. What number are you, Azrael? 18. Azrael is part of the green ray, pale dark green, the universal heart. Unconditional love, equanimity, belonging, surrender, higher perspective, emotional and physical healing, and transitions. Okay? These ones are the emerald, the malachite, fluorite, green amethyst, aventurine, and moss agate. That big fucking stone right there, this one is a moss agate. This is a tiger's eye. That was for the dark goddess. You can look that up many times, especially for Isis. This is a lapis lazuli. That's Archangel Michael and all of that. We all have, I made that video. We were created of the earth. The cosmic energies are in the damn dirt. It's in the land. And that's what the witches know. We know how to use the cosmic energies of the fucking elements that we were gifted. Alright, mint and peppermint. The star constellation is Andromeda, the daughter. Alright, so in there is Raphael. Azrael, known as the angel of death. Why do we need him? Because you're about to die to the flesh. Azrael isn't at all as scary as his name suggests. In fact, he's perhaps the kindest and gentlest of the archangel. Who is he? Meet Joe Black. He's very kind. He's just there to transition you from one world to the next. Just like the mystery cloaked guardian leading you across the treacherous bridge in this card, he is associated with bringing comfort and reassurance in times of intense transition. Azrael not only guides souls that are crossing over, he gently separates the soul from the body at the death and sets the spirit free. That's why he's here. Transition. That's what's going on. Your soul needs to be set free, and your flesh needs to die. Not physically. You need to stay here while this happens, and it's very painful. But he also gives guidance and reassurance to those counseling professionals. Like Raphael, Azrael can help your heart to heal in times of loss, grief, and hardship. He is especially present during bereavement. Azrael, and that's what we're doing, we're grieving the whole way through this. This hurts. Azrael can help you release any worries about lost loved ones and can also act as a messenger, delivering your words and wishes to those loved ones on the other side. He lets you know that there was much more to life than pure human existence and that we still have much to learn beyond the grave. He reminds us that rather than human beings having a spiritual experience, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. In this way, perhaps Azrael could better be described as the angel of everlasting life, rather than the angel of death. Ask him to help you through your personal transition and to wrap his rings around anyone experiencing grief or loss. He will help comfort and console them so they can find peace. His message: you are at a major point of transition. Release all that is currently falling away with love. Remember that after death, there always comes rebirth. If you have pulled this card following the loss of a loved one, this message comes as validation that the angels are guiding their way safely through the veil. Alright, I'm going to leave those guys up there. Now my Bible, my Holy Scripture is this one. Okay? The Alchemy of Transformation. I started this, the Dark Night of the Soul. We're going to go there. This is what you're going to look like for pretty much the whole thing. Pretty much. You're just going to be bent over crying about some shit. The journey of the Dark Night represents extreme hardships you may endure in order to reach enlightenment and a union with the Creator. You can't. The whole point of enlightenment is not making your life better. It's leaving this life and going back to your soul. Sorry. Everybody that's trying to sell you this idea, use spirituality, clickbait you through spirituality to make your life better, it's bullshit. That's not what spirituality is about. The spirit does not care for the things of this world. It's here for the experience. It knows it can't take any of these things, and it doesn't even care for such things. And you'll realize that as you start becoming the spirit. You're no longer like them, bro. You don't even care about stupid shit like that. It doesn't even matter. Nothing matters anymore. It doesn't. It doesn't even have substance. It's not even real anymore. You know what real is. The path is usually taken without a person realizing that they are going through what they're going through and what it entails. The term itself is inspired by a poem written by St. John of the Cross in the 16th century that narrates the journey of the soul from its bodily home into the union with God. The poem shows how painful an experience of the stages of the dark night of the soul is, as one seeks to grow spiritually. Every living being has a soul. There's a fire in my stomach. I'm getting really hungry. It is the truth of who you are, and it embodies us into each of your cells. Your body is like an outer shell that houses your soul, and lifetime after lifetime, various forms it experiences. As you rest and take stock of where you have journeyed so far in the spirit world, ancient civilizations, mystics, shamans, and saints throughout history focused on the soul's awakening and knew how to fully embrace the integration into the human experience. That would be us, the Ascending Masters. As much as it sucks, it's like, do you know what it means to be the only one? They still haven't. You know, I look at my Silo and my Guru, and they're not ascended yet. They haven't put their soul back in. They're still in the flesh. What's stopping them? They're still in the flesh. They don't know who they are. They're doing their teachings, they're doing their works, but they're still wearing the flesh. It just irritates me. Why? Because I'm the only one. I'm the only one. And and it's kind of funny to say, because if it wasn't my spirit, if it wasn't the goddess spirit, you could say Lisa did this all by herself. A girl named Lisa from Colorado that had a traumatic life was able to completely access the divine. That's the difference, guys. Is you're still working through your flesh. If you let your soul take this journey, it would get you to the end. In essence, you know, what's happening with Kanye is just a really drawn out. He's dying. His death. Everything. As Osiris, once he resurrects himself, you know what I mean, that's when his story is fulfilled. But he is literally just fulfilling the bullshit. He died. Kanye West died. And the only one to bring him back to life is me. Are you serious? Okay, go send him somewhere else. Who else is going to bring Kanye back to life in this world? Restore his fucking kingdom and his throne amongst the people. Who can do that for Kanye? Other than myself, the messenger of God, or God himself? Jesus? Jesus is going to put you back on the throne? Okay. No, he's going to keep your humbled ass in the dirt. Bitch, be humble. He's all about humility. Love you, Jesus. In the essence of, no, that's not how, you don't understand these energies and how they work. Alright, the ego is attached to power, control, reputation, and material things. During the dark night of the soul, you will be compelled to let go of all that the ego values so that your soul can tumble into the profound state of unknowing. That's where fucking Wolfman exposed himself in the Sagittarius video and went all crazy. He's like, if you just want to run away and go live in a fucking, you know, in a community and wear scraps, that's fine. But, you know, if you want to be successful, you're going to need that ego. And this and that. And he just goes on about his egotistical ways. And that's what I told you. I can't fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? You can't compete where you don't compare. And that's Russ, trying to compete with things of this world. I'm out of this world, bro. Your materials don't even add up to Lewis's financial. And still then, none of you have any power of this world. You're powerless to the constructs of this fucking reality. You're just a player in the game. All of you are just playing the game that you created for yourselves. Those of us that wake up, we're propelled into isolation, for the journey requires solitude. Right? You just take that journey. You get away from people and things. You're no longer with the static. You're not with it anymore, dude. You're literally being pulled out of it, bro. Literally. During the dark night of the soul, you will be compelled to let go of all that the ego values so your soul can tumble into a profound state of unknowing. When your soul has had enough of being ignored, its primordial inner cry will be heard across the universe. And that's what I said. It's your higher self that's throwing you into the fire. You have denied yourself and dressed yourself up as a fucking clown out here. Your true essence is not ashamed of you. It's just done with it. You yourself will be ashamed of yourself when you realize what you've done in your life. You're unaware of what you're doing. Forgive them, for they know what they do. All right, well, wake them up so they can see what they've done. And that's the wake up. The awakening is waking up to what the reality is. What you have done in this life and what people have done to you. You're going to wake up to the life you've lived. And you're going to have to sort through all of that. Otherwise, it's going to crush you. You've made it this far forgetting what life has done. But you cannot go any further. Why? Because your soul needs to be free to get you to the next part. Your brain can't take you to that next level anymore. You need your heart. The dark night of the soul is like a long, hard slap across the face that will wake you up from your old reality. It is a period of utter desolation, a deep and emotionally painful spiritual depression you have to endure before enlightenment. Before gaining wisdom, clarity, and understanding, those who experience it feel total loss, hopelessness, and separated spiritually from the divine and from the truth of who they are. For the dark night of the soul is like a spiritual emergency that will test you and shake you to your core as you question the meaning of everything you once took for granted and your very existence till you become fragmented. They have to break you down to your core. And that's where I say, you know, Russ, he comes out here and says he took this fucking journey and now he's back to do it bigger and better. He wants his cake and to eat it too. Look at all the great things he's done. Look at me, look at me, look at me. What am I seeing? Ego, attached to power, control, reputation, and material things. His love language, his heart, his love language is Apple Pay. His heart is so artificial. The only way that it can give any type of feeling is through the material world. He has to buy your love. And all he can do to love you is give you things. He can't love you. His form of love is giving you shit. But what's funny is notice how nobody buys him nothing. Go back to his birthday. He had a shit ass fucking cake that wasn't even, they never buy him anything. They never share his music. Okay, his sister shared it for the first time I've ever seen in 3 years. She shared his freestyle in her story. First time in 3 years I've seen any of his family support him. His girlfriend only does it for clout. She was able to get up to a 916,000, but now she's dropped down. You can't keep it because it's not real. You're a fucking clout chaser. But that's her love language. If you buy her shit, she feels loved. If he buys her shit, he gets pussy. That's love for him because nobody wants to fuck with him. Remember? Fuck Russ, right? This is a person that doesn't have friends, this is his whole relationship. Do you understand why I have to step way the fuck back and say it's done? You don't have any heart. There's no soul inside of you. What's your next drop there, buddy? Drop your panties. Oh my God, that's a vagina! Oh God. Anyways, let's move on. If you have felt that you're never mind. Rites of passage. Let's move on to the rites of passage. The first step of your journey of renewal is to understand what is being presented to you is not a punishment or an injustice, but rather a rite of passage that will move you onto your next phase of transformation. What is that? Sacrifice. Human sacrifice. We're sacrificing our human existence to be a soul again. We're literally taking off the pieces of our flesh and giving it back to God so that we can be free of this flesh and how it feels and how it thinks. So we work through the thoughts and the feelings and we see what's attached to them and we give that up too. And that's simple things like, you stop talking to your exes. But you don't just stop. You erase their numbers. You delete all of the message. You block them. You get rid of everything. Because you know that this wasn't that you learned your lesson from this relationship and you don't need to go back and learn another lesson from this relationship. You don't need to have this connection with this person anymore. You understand the connection and what it led to, and you're grateful for it, but you must move on. And anything attached to it is going to hold you back. Just having their number in your phone is going to make you see their name and bring up all those memories and that emotional attachment. You start doing things like that. My house. My car, my music. My music was an attachment to all my pain. I was channeling my pain through my music. I had to let it go because I wasn't going to stay in that vibration. I've gotten better, but I'll never be able to make music like that again because I don't feel like that anymore. And that's what's happening to you rappers. You can't make the music you were because you're not the same person you were. And that's not a bad thing. You're just not embracing the new person you are. And if you did, more people would embrace you and your new message, because it is a message that we want to hear. You're just not accepting the new you. And there are going to be people that don't, because they don't benefit off of the new you. The new you is free and has boundaries, says no and isn't people pleasing. It's just, the rite of passage. I've taken many. God calls me into nothing. That's what it is, into the unknown. I can hear it. And that's, I'm seeing Frozen, the second one. She can hear a voice calling her. She thinks it's outside of her, but it's her heart calling her into the dark forest. What's out there? The truth of her childhood. If you watch the movie, the truth of her parents, the hidden truth, was calling from inside of her. But it was also hidden in the land. All witchy stuff. Good stuff. Disney was great. In the essence of, but, that's what it is like you're literally, your heart is pulling you to a town you've never been. It's got you attracted to a person you can't understand why. You're doing things you've never ever done before, and it's all based on your heart. And these are rites of passages. Like Monday, that was a test. I knew that was Kobe. Are you serious? On Monday, you want me to love Russ? Are you serious right now? Yeah, let's see if you can do it. All right. And I did it. And what did he do? Same thing he always did. But what did I do? I did what it was asked of me, and I did it better than I've ever done. You're being asked to be an expression of God to people, especially people you don't like. He wants to show that he has power over you. Because everybody knows how I feel about Russ. But when they see something like that come in, that's God, bro. That's God all over her, bro. Give it a minute. She hates him. Give it a minute. And that's where I'm like, this isn't me. This is the power of Christ compels me to be a better person. And that's that oneness. It's like, there's me, but then there's them. And and that's where the breakdown is. What, you don't love Russ? Yeah, I do, but what? And that's where it is. It's like, you got to keep breaking your, your flesh to be the heart, to just be your open heart. I don't want to show love to this guy because this is what happens. And then all it is, as I'm justified in my decision, I showed you I don't want to love him because he acts like this. So then I did it, regardless to how he's going to act, because I know he's going to do this. If I love him, he's going to be hurtful. And so I did it, and what does he do? He did exactly what he always does. So I'm justified in my fears. But I face those fears in honor of being a better person. Not for Russ, but for myself. And that's why, are you serious? I gotta love Russ? He's the hardest person in the world to love. And that's it. They're testing you. This is a rite of passage. Can you walk away from this family member now that you know they're no good? Oh, man, God. Can you say this? And that's oh, fuck. Wisconsin. Lili's birthday passed. I felt it, but I'm staying at their house, and everything's hunky-dory. And then in the morning, the Holy Spirit tells me, tell them you're not going with them to the, it's their daughter's birthday, and they plan to go out into Minneapolis, to the Twin Cities. We don't know where. They want to go into the towns and do something fun for her birthday, but they don't have a plan. So all we know is the night before is we'll get up tomorrow and we'll all get packed up and we'll head into town. Cool. That's all we know we're going to do. And then in the morning I wake up and the Holy Spirit says, no, you will not. You tell them no and you stay away from them. What? If I tell them I'm not going with them, she's going to throw a fit. She might even put me out. It'll be okay. I tell them that. And Milia wakes up not feeling well too. Before she even wakes up, Milia tells me she's not feeling well. So she's got this unwell feeling too about what's about to happen. She don't know. We're in tune. So I tell Amanda that she's not feeling well and we're going to sit this one out. And it starts out calm for a minute, but then it explodes, bro. And she turns out the last things I can remember is like, thanks, you just want to ruin our fucking day, right? You want to ruin my daughter's fucking birthday. You're such a selfish bitch. Everything has to be about you. You couldn't just fucking, you can just go. And then I remember her saying, and it's like, and then you're going to take Nana? Nana's happy here, and they just made friends, and you're just going to take Nana? Like, she was guilting me so bad. She was making me feel terrible. And all I did was what God said, bro. And I knew this was going to happen. And she literally, dude, she put me out, and they stood in front of us, like in front of the doorway, watching us pack. Do you know how humiliating that is, bro? And then as we were walking, with our bags back and forth, they're like watching us, following us, the whole crowd. Like, they've got shit to do, but they won't go until we get the fuck out of their house. You know what I mean? Like, none of this had to happen. Why wasn't I able to say, no, I didn't want to go? That's how controlling it was. And when I got out and I'm on the road with the kids and I've only got a little bit of money, I realized why God did this. Before I ran out of money, I never knew that she was that controlling, bro. And that I had given her that much control, that she was going to act like that. And that's what I kept telling the kids. Thank God it happened now. We wouldn't have been able to get out later. I only had some money now. And I only had enough money, not even. I didn't learn to start bumming gas by then. So I went back to Colorado. I didn't know where to go. And there's many things. Then it's like, I'm on my way to San Diego, so I think. And my daughter says, the fuck you are. And I'm like, but God says just to keep going. And I don't know what he's doing. And those are rites of passages where you're trusting your heart to take you literally into nothing. And know that there's something there for you. That you didn't just walk into this. And I've walked into shit and I'll be crying at God. I'm seeing that was real hard for me, guys. It's in the video, but you don't understand what it did to my soul, bro. When I'm in Las Vegas, he gives me this vision to go to Vegas. I make this image that this is going to be my break. Nah, he didn't give me that image, bro. He just told me to go to Vegas and set up. Be brave enough to set up on their streets is what it is. That's all he wanted me to do, is stand out in front of the world and not do this hidden in a room. But he wanted me to stand in the, Sin City and open Pandora's box. Open it all right there in the middle of Sin City. I didn't really understand what he was doing to the spiritual work I was doing. I was only seeing it on a physical level. And so when I get there and I open it all up, bro, that's all I have to do. And I've noticed it before when all of a sudden my shit, all of my spiritual shit is on the side of the road, opened up in an access point, and it's like, the whole gates of heaven are right here opened in this land. And that's what he makes me do, is I go and I open it as a gatekeeper. I activate the land. So anyways, I see it as this is my break. No, he just wanted me to be brave enough to go and be myself in public and open up his kingdom to the public. And I'm sitting there and I'm crying, God, it didn't work. My life, everything you tell me to do, it's not bearing fruit, God. And he keeps showing me how it was never about something physical. That this is all about the journey, you know what I mean? And that goes back to Oklahoma. I'm so ready to open up and broadcast to the world. I've got my business cards. I've got all these food stamps. I'm about to buy little meals and pass out flyers and do free readings. And I've collected all of our clothes that I'm going to give away before the school year to people. I've got all this stuff. I'm going to do, a resource center for myself. And I'm sitting there. It hurts so bad, bro. I can feel it. It resonates in my heart what happened that day. And it's a Monday. And I say, all right, God, I'm ready. What's the next move? What do I do now? I've got everything ready, God. I'm ready to open this church. And he said, no, you're not going to do that here. What do you mean, God? I did all this work, God. I just wanted you to see that if you could do it here, you could do it anywhere. Oh, that's not fair, God. That's not fair. And that goes back to my music, you guys. My whole life, I just wanted to make an album. I put everything into it, all my thoughts, all my feelings, all my money, all my energy. And God said, all right, you're done now. But no, God, nobody's heard it. Nobody's seen it. It means so much to me, please. Give it up, I promise. You'll make more music. It was not easy. And people thought I was going crazy. When God told me to give my car to that ungrateful bitch for $400. That was my first new car that I ever bought myself. And you just want to give it away? Yeah, she needs it. All right, God. And then I take the $400 and he makes me buy all this witchcraft shit. Like, I still can't even pay my bills. You gave me all that money. I thought to, you know, for me to have in my pocket so we could live. And all I did was take it all and spend it on spirituality. The same shit I'm showing you right now. He asks you to do things that you just don't think you can. But when you do give up these things and these people and this stuff, you know, it kills you. You die, bro. You die. That's why they call it the ego death, bro. It kills you. But you're so proud of yourself when you look back, you know. And I can still feel how painful it was to make these decisions. But I'm so proud that I did, because look at where it got me. And that's what people were watching. They were watching me destroy my life. They thought I was on drugs. That I was selling all my stuff for drugs. That I was losing my mind, bro. I mean, I was, in essence. I was cleaning it out. I was giving everything up. And that's where it is. It's like she's losing her ambition. She's giving up her job. She's losing her mind, bro. She's giving up her house, her car. She no longer works. She's being a fucking freak. She's practicing fucking witchcraft and shit. Something's wrong with her. Take her kids. Yeah, bro. It was hard. And there were so many of them where I'm just called all the time. Just called. And that's it. It's the callings. The more you answer them, the more they keep calling you. And then, you know, you can't, and that's what I mean, is like, once you've shown that you can do, and that's what they're training you for. They're training you to be able to take heaven and bring it down here to earth. You have to go through the hell of earth, which is our reality, you know, that we've got in our mind, our feelings and perception. We have to go through our own hells to get back to heaven, which is our soul. Then we take the soul's knowing and we create it here on earth for them. We create heaven on earth in the hell that it is. Really? Yeah. As a messenger of God, as a prophet, as a seer, a sage, all of this that I am, and anyone that claims to be that, your job is to service humanity by the divine. You're an in-between. You're supposed to take the stuff from the divine and bring it and make this world divine. How do you do that? Mustard seeds, bro. Faith. Hope. You are only one man, and all you have is a vision. But that's where Martin Luther King comes in and everybody else and tells you all they had was a vision. At 8 years old, Lewis saw that he was going to be a world champion, you know what I mean, Formula One driver. He was poor, biracial, but he saw that future. And he spoke on it, and he spoke on it so highly, and he showed the determination as a child that those around him believed in his vision, believed that he was capable of it, and made this vision for him. And that's what it is too. It's like, you know, you have to walk in that dream. Now, he did that. He has to go back and get another dream and bring it down here for humanity. What did he do? He showed black people they could dream, that they could be champions in a world that won't allow them. And that's why all of them come. They show you. And that's why a lot of people ask me, why are most of your spirit guides African American descendants? Those are just the skin we wore. But those are the, you know what I mean, those are the powerful ancestors that you deny. And they live within these, you know, these children. For whatever reason, you've always tried to deny the blacks. And you don't understand that they are a chosen culture just like others. And they are chosen of the material world. They have the gifts of the material world. So in essence, you know, he teaches, you know, and that's what Marshall taught. White boys couldn't rap. We weren't allowed to be that. Marshall showed you could. Now he has to show you what else you can do. And that's what Kobe showed you. Pac showed you. Nipsey showed you. DMX showed you. Oh, Michael Jackson showed you. All of them showed you that you can do great things if you believe in your vision. And that nobody else is going to believe in you, but you got to keep walking towards that vision. Once you show God that you can walk in that vision, then He wants to give you more works to do, because your vision will change people's direction. Marshall Mathers made a ripple in time, wanting to be something he wasn't, which was what? A rapper. Yeah, he had to work harder than any other black person in the world to be that good. But you can't deny him. And what he did is he opened a world by just opening his world. Now, if these men can do it once, they can do it again, and in other areas where they can open up gateways of hope and inspiration by their actual determination and life experiences. What I'm trying to get them to do is walk towards this and teach people how to do this walk, because this is the most righteous path that there is. But it's also painful. And as I say that, you can see over the last 3 years how much Marshall has taken this path. The death of Slim Shady was what it was. I didn't listen to the album, but I believe it was, you know what I mean, a washout, a wake up, a surrender, a sacrifice, an acceptance. It wasn't his whole story put into one album, but it was a reflection of his whole story in one album. So then you go to, Russ's album, Santiago. That's what he found in there. As he took the dark night of the soul's journey, he made an album about it. And swore that he was going to make a Grammy out of it. You can't take your life's work and make money out of it. It's worth more than money. But he was trying to curate it to the liking of others. There's nothing pretty about the dark night of the soul. It's painful. It brings tears to your eyes. The truth hurts. And that's why people can relate to Marshall and his really painful songs. To Logic when he made that song. To NF when he makes his songs. We can relate to your real feelings. Unfortunately, Russ, you're not expressing any feelings because you don't have them. You repress them. You don't know what your true feelings are. You're just working through your thoughts. And every thought is a great idea in your head. You got a lot of work to do, my friend. I think you should stop. I tell you that all the time. Alright, so there's that and that. 107.5. That radio station sucks now. Do you know what they're doing for Summer Jam? I feel like I'm in a time loop. For 2025 Summer Jam, they're having Nelly and Ashanti and all these old fucking... Dude, like, I saw them when they were young and they really could keep up with the beat. Are you really selling tickets to the Over the fucking Hills fucking... I can't believe that. That's what they're doing for Summer Jam. Meaning, what does that mean? That means our radio station is so poor that they can't pay for, the hit performers that are out right now. That's the truth. That's the truth. Why can't they put on a real Summer Jam concert? That's where I met Russ. Russ was opening for YG. Summer Jam 2022? 2022? Yeah, 2022? 2023? I think it was 2022. That's how I met him. He was, he was the last act, before YG. They can't afford, artists of the, hip artists. Now, if you go into you go to the Bay, and you look up LA, and you look up Miami, and you look up all of their summer concerts, they've got all of these great artists coming. Why? Because they can afford it. Our radio station is falling apart. It has been. They've lost all their personalities. The DJs that are on there, most of them are actually doing it digitally from a fucking home in another state. Truthfully, we're losing our radio waves. The radio waves that are there are, and our DJs have already jumped ship. They all started with the hip-hop radio station 107.5. But as the corporate chain changed it, They all left. They're all part of still radio, but not part of that station. Which means they still go to work in the same building, just not the same office. And I just want to show you that's sad as fuck. That our hip-hop scene can't afford a hip-hop scene. But it is actually being replaced by what? Flow 1071, positive radio. Our hip-hop is being replaced by positive radio. Really? They're the ones hosting the shows and stuff now. They always were. You went between the channels. And the other channels, we don't. Our hip-hop is dying. Hip-hop and rap is dying in Colorado. It's not on the airwaves. It's literally, you can turn on our radio and you'll listen. It's only about 6 songs being replayed every hour. It's on a loop. Unless you catch that good fucking back in the day jam around 12 o'clock. That's where I'll be at. I'll be back in the day with the Oscos. Otherwise, no, the whole radio station sucks. They're literally playing, you know what I mean, iHeartRadio fucking top 5, 6, 7. Over and over and over and over and over. Really? Terrible. And I think maybe only 2 of the songs, maybe 2 or 3 of them might be in the rap genre. Or hip-hop. They might play a Drake song, and they definitely play that fucking Kendrick shit. But the rest of them, no. You're not going to make an impression as a rapper in Colorado because we don't have a platform for you to perform, or for it to even hit. They're not going to play you on our radio because our radio just doesn't even play good music. Isn't that sad? It's the truth. It really is. Do you ever just pay attention to the world crumbling around you? And that's it too. Nobody listens to the radio. They stream their own music. They don't want to listen to what you're feeding them. They want to listen to what they like. So the radio tries to determine what you like based on the top sellers. So they keep selling you the same shit that's everywhere. And that's not what we want. We don't want to listen to the same shit over and over. We want diversity. And that's why we put shuffle and have all kinds of weird genres. I don't listen to Spotify. It's too annoying. I'm a Pandora girl, obviously. What's in your box? That's a good one. Holy Spirit's so creative. I'm not going any further with this. I've got another teaching, I guess, sitting in front of me about exorcisms and consorting with the spirit and how these dark spirits come to you once you go into your dark night of the soul. I should be teaching you all about that, but let's just worry about the light. As long as you know the light's in there protecting you, you shouldn't be worried too much about the dark. And that's what I try to teach you, is it's not to embrace the darkness. And I tell you all the time, where do I sit? In darkness. Just leave me alone. This is where, I just sit in the darkness, in the chaos. And that's Bobby. I feel like you're the devil trying to convince me that the grass is greener in hell. That would be your mind's perception of whatever storybook you read. I guess you had always called me the devil or demoness. I am the goddess of what you call hell. Hell is here on earth. This is the frequency of hell, and therefore I am here to guide you the fuck out. This is my world, and you are destroying it with your stupid thoughts. Darkness is the place where all great things are created, and you guys are creating madness in my world. I've come to reclaim my darkness, take it away from you, take it back to where it goes, and you guys can live here in love and light with God. Ha! Love and light, motherfuckers. Get out of my face with this. In the essence, everybody wants to stay in the dark, and I'm not letting you. Why? Because you're occupying my energy. And the energy you're bringing is not authentic darkness. It's just the dark feelings of a human being. That's not what the dark realms really are. In essence, you have no power and authority to be part of my world. Get out of hell. In essence, you created hell on earth, so now I have to kick you. I have to clean up this frequency to restore it back to where it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be here. It's supposed to be the Garden of Eden. Fucking heaven on earth. Well, fine. So that's what I do. I reclaim the darkness. I clean up all your shadows and shit by teaching you the light. And then I sit and plant, God's seeds of, all that light here. Right? Terrible. Lots of work to do. And with that being said, I have doctor's appointments and all kinds of appointments and everything. I got stuff to do today, so I don't know how I'm going to teach you. There's always time to teach you. And I said I wasn't going to teach you. It doesn't matter what I say. It's what God says, bro. I just say a lot of shit. In the end, it's he's got the last word. And he spoke life into existence. No, he said he breathed life into existence. Breathe. Alright, it was a fun one. What does this mean? It's a painful journey. And once you start, you can't stop. I'm going to stop on that page. Again, I very much recommend that you get this book. If you're not going to get the cards, at least get this. This is my Bible. This is going to take you through it, bro. Stage by stage, feeling by feeling, thought by thought. And then we got other ones that'll take you through your thoughts and feelings and shit. That's what they all do. But they do it in a general sense. This one is like literally piece by piece. We piece the shit out of it. We break you into itsy bitsy pieces. With all this dark sides, all the sides of the goddess. Haha. Hey, I love yous. Laters. Ascend. And bye-bye. And bye-bye. And bye-bye.